Hello and welcome back to Buckle Up. I'm Harry King and this is the Mercedes Benz eCitan.
It's the eCitan!
Sorry, the Mercedes Benz eCitan. And today I'm going to find out if it's any good. So we'll start here at the front, where you could be forgiven for thinking that this is a normal Citan. There is one important difference though. If I fish the key out of my pocket and press and hold this, the badge falls off. This is where your charging port lives, which is quite handy. And as you can see, it's open somehow. It's really cold today, I'm very sorry. But otherwise, broadly similar to the ICE vehicle. You've got little vents in the side for aero. You've got this nice grille at the bottom with a little front lip spoiler to make it look a little bit edgy, but of course it's then a van above it, so I'm not sure that works. And two badges, just so people doubly know that you've bought a rebadged Renault. Now to the side. So I think here at the side is a good time to talk about trim levels. This van's available in two trims. There's the base level Progressive, which I thought was an insurance company, and then there's this top spec Premium. Now Premium means you get it in this very unique colour, which is yellow, or you can have it in blue, silver, grey or black. In all cases, that's a free option and it's metallic. You also get these 10-spoke alloy wheels as standard, and you get some premium appearance packages, which if this van had windows, they would be tinted now, because this is a premium, but obviously this is a panel van, so it doesn't. It's an electric here, it says that, it just says electric, and then you do have down here a fuel filler flap, which obviously doesn't do anything, but you can still open. It doesn't even latch. They could have just put a latch in and stopped it from opening, but never mind. But of course, the main event is here at the back, because this is a van. So let's go look at the load capacity. So again, very similar back here to the standard Citan. The main difference being this little blue E here. Last time I saw a little blue E, I was in Ibiza. Obviously, it's a van, so the doors open all the way around. You have to push this little latch in here, and then they open right round 180 degrees, which makes loading large and delicate items much more easy. Oh, they're on a cold day, they're quite stiff, and they are all painted in black, so they're quite hard to see if you're not used to the van. Though obviously, if you owned one, you'd get used to it. And here we can see 2.9 cubic meters of storage space. Lovely. You get a floor liner, a standard plastic floor liner to stop scratches, and you do seem to get little bits of padding around the outside skin of the van. You get it all around here as well, but not on the wheel arches and not higher up. So obviously you would need to put ply lining in if you're going to be carrying something that might damage the insides. You've got a mid-height set of hooks, only one on this side because of the door, and then you have a floor set of tethering points as well. And there is a door at the side for access. You can option one on the other side as well, but this one comes as standard, and that allows you to step through and move things at this end of the van, though obviously the load length is only 1.8 meters. So it's maybe not the most necessary thing in the world, but it is quite handy. The width between these wheel arches is just over 1.2 metres, and the width between these panels is 1.5 metres, to give you the general dimensions in here. It's not the biggest van in the world. You can get a folding bulkhead for this, or you can actually remove this half of the bulkhead. And if you have the seats that allow you to do this, you then get 3 metres of load length, which is very useful and quite surprising in this size of vehicle. But with a bulkhead in place, this is all the room you're getting. I do like this. This is nice that they put this in as standard, because it will just stop any dents and scratches, which is very handy. But let's see if anything will get dented or scratched in the cabin. Okay, so welcome to the interior of the Mercedes Benz eCitan. Now I'm going to read off a bunch of notes that I have that I just lost track of in the rain. So weight capacity of the load space, 424 kilos. That is quite low, though. Of course, Mercedes-Benz minus the driver off their figures, so it's not as bad as it seems, but that's not a huge load capacity. The gross vehicle weight is 2.23 tons, so this is quite heavy with those batteries. If you minus off that capacity, you still end up with quite a heavy vehicle. It's a 45 kilowatt hour battery, which is quite small, and the range reflects that. So the WLTP range is 174 miles, which isn't a huge amount, and that's kind of a best case scenario in mixed driving. Round town, you can probably beat that if you're just doing in town, in city deliveries, last mile deliveries. This will either hit that or potentially exceed it. But if you're doing mixed driving, if you're driving in colder weather, you're going to find yourself quite a long way south of there. This van itself is fitted with heated seats and heated steering wheel. I'll get more onto them in a second, but they do help with the range because the actual heater itself sucks range out of this vehicle. I don't think it's got a heat pump, and there doesn't seem to be any way to option one. The rest of the interior, before I get onto my other notes, I've got big door bins, I've got 2 cup holders in the middle, huge centre storage area, really, really deep, really, really big, and obviously doubles as a nice armrest. And also there's a glove box, but half of it is a fuse box, which slightly betrays the Renault underpinnings of this van. You've got kind of a little storage slot here, and then you've got a little storage space down here as well with a wireless charger, but that's an optional extra. You've got a storage space here on top of the dashboard where you would put a newspaper, and you've got some storage bins overhead, which is handy. But for a van, slightly sparse on cup holders. There's nothing up on top of the dash, and it would be nice to have a full-size glove box. The seats, these are the comfort seats, which is part of that heating, getting those heated seats, but it means there's adjustable lumbar support. Both driver and passenger seats are height adjustable, though with the bulkhead in place, I do struggle to find a comfortable driving position. I feel myself being forced forwards. But yes, before I talk any more about options, back to those 2 trim levels, progressive and premium. So progressive is your kind of standard van, so you get it base colour white with black bumpers, yada yada yada, steel covered wheels, all of that. But you do get a huge amount of kit as standard even on the progressive model. So you get heated windscreen, heated mirrors, you get the sat nav, you get the load floor protector, you get climate control, you get cabin preconditioning through an app, you get parking sensors, you get a reversing camera, you get hill start, you get cruise control, you get 6 airbags as standard, both models, and you get an SOS system. So there is a big amount of standard equipment. I would hope there was, though, because it is £34,000, which is a lot for a van of this size. Now, premium, you're going to be at nearly 36 for 35,970. For that, you get the metallic paint, as I previously mentioned, and the exterior package, and the light package, which means you get LED lights with high beam assist. You also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto fitted. You get Auto Park, rear park aid, so that'll go into the space for you. I don't think you really need it in a vehicle of this size. You get auto wipers and lights. You get blind spot assist, though you still have to tick the option, but it is free. You get MBUX AI extended features. I'm not quite sure what that means, but basically there's AI in the infotainment, and it will learn how you use the infotainment and then streamline it specifically for you. You get keyless go, you get double locks, you get adjustable regen braking, and you get auto emergency braking, so it will brake if it thinks you're going to crash. So lots and lots of stuff in there, but as I've said, the seat comfort package is never a standard option. You always have to pay. So that's £415. And then for the heated steering wheel, which again I think is very necessary, if you don't want to be using the heater, is £140. The only thing that would make me go for a premium over the progressive is the Android Auto, because all of the other options I would want can just be optioned onto the progressive. For some reason, you can't option the Android Auto onto the progressive model. It's only available on the premium. But basically, all the other things, and even if you want the nicer wheels or you want the body-coloured bumpers, all of that can be optioned onto the progressive model. It's just those like little techie things that seem to separate them out completely. If you're not willing to start ticking the options list to some extent. In general, in the cabin, it's quite plasticky. I would expect that of a commercial vehicle. So you've got hard plastic on the dash, hard plastic up here. All around here is hard plastic. Rubber floor mats over plastic flooring. And then everything else, this is all plastic down here, hard switches. You do get a nice Mercedes Benz steering wheel with the fancy piano black and their more premium switchgear on it. And then the switchgear here in the centre, actually I do recognise from my Dacia Jogger. So that's Renault switchgear, but it's in the nice silver finisher. You've got the silver finisher around the Mercedes Benz air vents, and I do like these air vents. They feel very nice to use and they're very sleek. But I think that's enough talking about the interior. We've been here for a while now. Let's go for a drive. automatic handbrake, so it'll come off by itself. There we go. And out onto the open road. So this has just over 120 horsepower, so it does have more power than the diesel van, and obviously, because it's an electric motor, it feels quite a lot more potent, because all of the torque is delivered instantly. Very, very nippy in the 0 to 30 dash. Hopefully I can demonstrate that just in a second. So we pull out onto this road. So it's really good response. It would be ideal for driving around town, and the vehicle isn't too big. I've got massive side mirrors. I don't have any kind of rear mirror here because I don't have any rear glass, but you can get both the bulkhead and then windows in the rear doors if that would be better for you, depending on what you're hauling around, if you want that extra visibility. But I've got plenty in the mirrors. The van itself isn't that long, so there's not too much of a blind spot, and you have the reversing camera and the parking sensors as standard, so it's not difficult to park. And the thing it's retained from the ICE model, and I'm glad about this, is it's surprisingly chuckable. So there's positive steering feel, and the chassis is quite sure-footed, and it means you can really go for those gaps in traffic. If you are hustling through a city or a busy town, you can make the lights, you can do whatever, and it makes it a little bit of a laugh. Controls wise, it's got the classic Mercedes Benz thing. There's a stalk on the left hand side and nothing on the right, so to do my wipers I have to twist it rather than flick it up and down, because that's my indicators, so on and so forth. Of course, this one with the auto wipers and the auto lights and the auto high beam assist, you're not fiddling with that too much, so it doesn't bother me, but it's worth mentioning. The heated seat's lovely, actually. I'm really, really glad it's fitted though, because I have just over half of the battery, and I have 77 miles of range. So I'm looking at a real world range right now, and this has been pretty much reflected across my week of driving this, of about 140 miles, which is more than 30 miles south of where they claim it would be. It has been cold all week. Even if I haven't had the heater on, I've had to have the fan on to stop everything from fogging up. So, you know, if you're going to drive this around like a normal car, it's not going to reflect, or it's not going to optimize the range, and the range is not that great. But I think when used with a particular purpose, and you'll know if this is the right business use for you, this is ideal, because also with that battery size that it has, it's got a short range because it's got a small battery. It's not that it's really inefficient. So you can charge it on AC 11 kilowatts in 4 hours, fully charged, which is shorter than a business day. Ideal, that's like an afternoon. You can charge it on a fast charger, 10 to 80%, in sort of less than 40 minutes. So it's not hideous there, even though it doesn't offer a particularly fast charging speed, because the battery is quite wee. You can charge it up quite quickly. But definitely, if you were a florist or a small business that needs to just go and collect large items, something like that, and you're mostly going to be driving around within a city, and you need something that you can put sign writing on, and it looks good for your business, that you're in an EV, this is looking quite good, because it has a lot of the tech you might like and you might want on a normal car. So it won't feel like a chore when it's like, oh, I've got to take the works van to go and deliver whatever this is, because you've got your heated seats and your cruise control and it's all fine. The problem is Stellantis has a very strong offering in this segment. More range, slightly less money, not as much standard equipment, but if range is the name of the game, you might want to think about those. But I think if you want to have a really premium appearance, you know the business case is right, this is a great van for that, because it's comfortable and quiet. Sorry, yes, I haven't even spoken about that. The NVH, this is super quiet, very comfortable. I'm not getting rattles and bangs. I don't have anything in the back at the moment. It's still riding really smoothly. car-like is how I would describe it. Steering's lovely, the brake and the accelerator feel good. I would say the brake works best if you have maximum regen already turned on, because otherwise the first part of your braking's regen, the second part is brakes, and the changeover is a bit, you can tell when it's changing over. If you've already got max regen turned on, I actually find it much easier to use the brake smoothly. Little life hack for you there. But there, I've tried to give you as clear a view of what this van is like as possible. Only you can know if it fits what you need, but I think there's definitely lots of space in the market where a van like this would be really, really useful. But before I go any further than that, let's go back and conclude. So, the Mercedes Benz eCitan. If you know exactly what you want and this fits your use case, then it's brilliant. And I would go and get one if I were you. However, if you have any other sort of use case but want a small van, check out the diesel one of these. It's a brilliant van. We've reviewed it here on the channel. You can check it out there. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. If you go down to the description, you'll find all the links to all of our social medias. Please go and follow us in those places as well. We also have two ways you can support the channel. So we have merchandise that I'm wearing here. We also have channel memberships. So you can sign up right here on YouTube for a monthly fee and support us that way. Any or all of those things is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.